What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Now, this week's episode is going to be an in-depth review of WWE Backlash, which was the first premium live event that they did in Puerto Rico in over 18 years. In fact, the last time it was in Puerto Rico was all the way back in 2005, and it was a pretty insane premium event. But I think this one might have been just as. But before we get into the video, guys, we are 37 subscribers away from 200. We are drawing closer and closer to the goal of 200 subs, and as I have said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel. As you guys can tell, under the right light, it is completely taped. There it is right there. On the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos. If this channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a piece of Exodia. There's no telling what we can pull from those boxes. However, if the channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever collector's rare. Right now, this guy right here, Toon Blacklisted Soldier, collector's rare, I think is going for like 300 bucks right now. And yeah, you guys heard it, my second ever collector's rare. Because if you guys missed Saturday's video, I did a video Saturday morning, and I actually pulled a collector's rare, which is this Beat Cup from the Underworld. I have it sleeved up in a penny sleeve and also in a top loader, which I'll take it all out of the packaging. Give me a second. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's actually beautiful. It's so on camera, it cannot beat in person. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. So if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, if you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want card discussions, maybe you guys want deck profiles, or maybe, just maybe, you want WWE topic videos, or maybe some more premium live event predictions and results. Excuse me. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. I can't speak this morning. Give this video a thumbs up. And make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Now, let's get straight into it, guys. Kicking things off was a match that we did not expect to see. Bianca Belair, Io Sky for the Raw Women's title. Now, obviously, as of this Saturday, it is indeed the last time that Bianca Belair will be the Raw Women's Champion, because I believe tonight on Raw, yeah, spoiler, Bianca wins. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I believe both Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are supposed to exchange titles. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to happen tonight on Raw, I believe. It most likely will, but As far as the tag team champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I don't know if they're gonna have them relinquish the SmackDown tag titles, I'm not entirely sure. But this was absolutely insane, an insane one-on-one match. Bianca said it on Raw over the last week, over the last couple weeks, that she knows how good Io is, and that the world believes that Damage Control is holding Io back. And honestly, after what we saw at Backlash, I actually kind of believe it, because the fans were on the side of Io Sky. They wanted Io Sky to win. Obviously, yes, they are big fans of Bianca Belair, but they wanted to see Io Sky win the title even more. So that was what they were aiming for. But unfortunately, Bayley and Dakota Kai came out and tried to help Io Sky win the Raw Women's title, but it did not come out that way, because even with one arm, and even with damage control at ringside, Bianca Belair was still able to hit Io Sky with the KOD to retain the Raw Women's title, and now she has surpassed Becky Lynch, now with 400 days as the Raw Women's Champion. I believe that reign will continue as the SmackDown Women's Champion. So it'll be interesting to see how far she'll be able to take the title. There's no telling. There is no telling, because there have only been a few people in WWE who have. I think there's only what? 2 people other than Bianca that has ever, or actually 3 people. There have only been 3 people who have ever walked into a WrestleMania back-to-back. There have only been a few people who have ever walked into a WrestleMania back-to-back and have either won the title or retained the title. Hulk Hogan was the first one, attending 3 WrestleManias as the WWE Champion. Roman Reigns, obviously now still being the undisputed Universal Champion. Bianca Belair is one. John Cena is one. Who else can I think of? Brock Lesnar would definitely be another one. So yeah, there've been a few, but no one like Bianca has ever attended 3 consecutive WrestleManias and has done what she's done. She has been on a huge roll as of late, and I think she'll be able to take the SmackDown Women's title to heights never thought possible. And we could potentially, and with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown as well, Bianca Belair could do the impossible and become the only woman in history to ever pin all 4 horsewomen of WWE. No one's been able to do that. No one has been able to do that before, as far as we know anyway. But Bianca might be able to pull it off. But this match, this was basically one of the best matches I had seen in a while when it comes to the Raw Women's title. Honestly, I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. This was absolutely insanity, absolutely insane. In spite of the fact that Damage Control did get involved, I truly believe that match was what Io Sky desperately needed to try and excel away from Damage Control. And who knows, maybe Io can finally break out on her own and go her separate ways away from the rest of Damage Control, even though Damage Control has a shot at the women's tag team titles this Friday on SmackDown, in which the tag champs being exclusive to Raw makes no sense at all, because the tag titles have to be defended across Raw, SmackDown, and even also NXT. Why not make them free agents? Why not make the Undisputed Tag Team Champions free agents? It just doesn't make sense. But again, this match, 4 stars easy. Next up, we've got Seth freaking Rollins against Omos. This was actually a bit of a weird one because when you look at Seth Rollins and you look at some of the biggest men that he's been in the ring with, guys like Braun Strowman, guys like Brock Lesnar, guys like Big Show, Kane, Undertaker, guys like Ryback, guys like John Cena. You look at these guys who are larger than life superstars, and men who have dominated WWE with an iron fist. Not one of them pales in comparison to someone as big as Omos. Because Omos, he's a big dude. 7'3", 410. Think about that, guys. 7 feet 3 inches, 410 pounds. Never seen anything like that before. And Seth Rollins was able to not only weather the storm that is Omos, but he was able to overcome all the odds with MVP standing at ringside. Against all odds, he was able to not only hit Omos with just 2 stomps, he hit Omos with 3 stomps, and that third one was from the top rope, which I've never seen anything like that before, and Seth freaking Rollins was able to pick up the victory. Honestly, this is an easy 3-star match, because this was a match that Seth Rollins, he did not need this match. It was Omos who needed it the most. Because if he were to have defeated Seth freaking Rollins, imagine what would have happened if he did. He would have injected himself into the tournament to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion, and we now know who will be in that tournament, in which I will try to... Give me 1 second. Okay, so as far as the World Heavyweight Championship tournament goes, there will be 12 men. There will be 4 triple threat matches, 2 for Raw, 2 for SmackDown, and the winners of those matches will go on to later that night and face each other one-on-one, and whoever made it to the finals will face each other at Night of Champions in Jeddah, which I believe it's going to be all the titles being defended, including the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. I'm not so sure. We'll have to find out we'll have to find out in the coming weeks. But as far as the superstars who will be competing on the Raw side of things, you've got let's see. You've got The Miz, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, and 2 members of the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Think about that, guys. Think about that. 2 members of Judgment Day? I mean, that doubles their odds of making it to the finals. SmackDown will have Bobby Lashley, Edge, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio of the LWO, the United States Champion Austin Theory, and Sheamus of the Brawling Brutes, which means not only could Sheamus potentially become a 5-time world champion, Edge could potentially become a 12-time world champion and continue his reign as world heavyweight champion from his last run, which is a possibility, but only time will tell. But again, imagine if Omos were to have won. It would have been him in this tournament and not Seth Rollins, but it is what it is. Again, This match, 3 stars easy. 3 stars easy. And speaking of Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, they were in a triple threat match with Bronson Reed for said United States title. This was, in my opinion, I feel like this was a sleeper. And the reason why is because, don't get me wrong, Bronson Reed has all the talent in the world, but he just, in my opinion, he just wasn't ready. I feel like as if he wasn't ready for a match of this, of that magnitude. That's just how I see it. Theory and Lashley, they've been in this position before when it came to triple threat matches and the United States title. They've been in this position before. Go back all the way to Survivor Series last November, where we saw Theory pin Seth Rollins to retain the United States title in Boston. I think it was in Boston. Fast forward to now, the end result was literally remained the same. Theory pinned Bronson Reed after Lashley hit Bronson with a spear to retain the United States title. I'm giving this one 3 stars only because of the fact that Austin Theory is probably one of the best heels I have seen in a long time. He's one of those heels where he wants to be a fighting champion. He'll defend the title against anyone, anywhere, anytime, and he doesn't take that many shortcuts. That right there is the definition of a great heel, in my opinion. And I feel like if and when, if it's a big if and it's a big when. We don't know if he'll ever drop the title, but let's say he does. His reign will go down in history as probably one of the best reigns as United States champion since John Cena in 2015. And that's saying a lot, given the fact that on night 1 of WrestleMania, Austin Theory actually defeated John Cena, which that's a rare sight to see. Someone defeating John Cena at WrestleMania, that's a rare sight because almost every single one of his matches, John Cena has won. WrestleMania 20, he won. 21, he won. 22, he won. 23, he won. 24, he lost. Okay? WrestleMania 25, he won. 26, he won. 27 and 28, he lost. 29, he's won. 30, he's won. 31, he's won. 32, he missed out due to injury, but he showed up anyway. 33, he won. 34, he lost. 36, he lost. This one, he lost. So let's see. 24, 27, 28, 35, and 39. He has only lost 5 WrestleManias. Out of every single WrestleMania that he's attended, he's only lost 5. That's insane. So that proves that Austin Theory is now at the top of his game, and this is an easy 3-star match in my opinion. But speaking of big matches, we move on to the SmackDown Women's title between Rhea Ripley and Zelena Vega competing in her homeland of Puerto Rico. And I'm gonna be honest, I was honestly expecting this match to be a banger. And it did not disappoint. It legit did not disappoint. I feel like as if this proved that Zelena Vega is ready for that big spot. To be a champion. In spite of the fact that she's a former women's tag team champion, she proves that in spite of the outcome, she proved that she deserves to be on the same level as a woman like like Rhea Ripley, or a woman like Charlotte Flair, or a Bianca Belair, or Bayley, or whoever. She's ready to be on that level. And we even got to see WWE's the the official WWE debut of one of the most notorious objects for a ass whooping in the Latino community, the chancla, or as we call it here in the U.S., flip flops. Yeah, Zelena Vega busted out the chancla, threw it at Rhea Ripley, and that was about the most hilarious thing going, to be completely honest. I will admit, I think watching Vega pour her heart out into that match, again, just proves that she's ready. She's ready to be on that big stage, and I think in spite of how the match ended, she earned it. She earned that opportunity, and Rey Mysterio was right, because there was a backstage interview that he was a part of. He told Zelena, there will be other opportunities down the line. You just got to take them for yourself, and he's right. Zelena Vega should do that, and I can't wait for her to challenge for the SmackDown Women's title once again. But again, spoilers: Rhea Ripley defeated Zelena Vega with the Riptide to retain her title. Now she'll become the Raw Women's Champion after tonight, and this was an easy 4 stars. I think this basically proved that Zelena Vega is ready. She is 100% ready. Next up, we've got a San Juan street fight between Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, former friends, former teammates turned bitter enemies, and I'm not surprised that this would be a banger, because not only did we see the return of Savio Vega, we also saw the return of Carlito. We hadn't seen him in 2 years. We had not seen Carlito in 2 years. Last time he was in WWE was actually back at the Royal Rumble in 2021. Think about that, guys. Think about that. 2021. It's been 2 years since we last saw him in WWE, and we got to see the Judgment Day get their asses handed to them. Both Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor get their asses handed to them by not only Carlito, not only by Savio Vega, but also by the rest of the LWO. And it's as if I'm honestly starting to think that Bad Bunny, Carlito, and Savio Vega might show up full time. That's what I'm thinking. But we all know that Bad Bunny is a diamond recording, is a multi-diamond recording artist. Think about that. A lot of his albums didn't go platinum. They went diamond. Think about that, guys. Think about that. That is absolutely insane. That's what makes Bad Bunny one of the best at what he does. But every time he gets in the ring at the Performance Center in Orlando and trains with the best, he always puts in the work. Think back to WrestleMania two years ago, where, you know, at WrestleMania inside Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, we got to see Bad Bunny in his debut match against The Miz and John Morrison teaming up with Damian Priest. 1 year later, last year at the Royal Rumble, we saw him compete in the Men's Royal Rumble. Not only that, this was his third match in WWE. and he defeated Damian Priest with what he called the Bunny Destroyer in that street fight. In spite of the fact that he got hit with a broken arrow onto 4 tables, in spite of the fact that he got hit with a choke slam, and Priest did not want to pin him that way, he was able to overcome all the odds and defeat Damian Priest. Now the question becomes, where does Bad Bunny go from here? Odds are, he could challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed title, because that's how good Bad Bunny is. Excuse me. That's how good Bad Bunny is. I'm giving this one 4 stars. This was absolutely insanity. Probably one of the best I had ever seen out of Bad Bunny ever. Like, absolutely nuts. But we now move on to a 6-man tag team match that was going to end the year-long rivalry between the Bloodline and the team of Matt Riddle and the tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This was basically the end, because with all the members of the Bloodline now a part of SmackDown, as well as, you know, Riddle and the tag team champions being a part of Raw, this means that the Usos are probably never going to get another opportunity at the undisputed tag team titles. But here's the funny thing: when you're the women's tag team champions, or if you're the undisputed tag team champions, the draft doesn't matter, because you're allowed to go to both shows anytime. Odds are Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they'll probably end up having to give up. Excuse me. Excuse me. They'll probably end up giving up the SmackDown tag team titles, which will give the Usos another shot at the titles at some point. But who knows? There's really no telling what's next for the Usos. But this was an instant classic. I've never seen a 6-man tag team match look this good, because we saw Solo Sikoa damn near hitting Jey Uso with a Samoan spike, and he almost did. We even saw a rare incidental contact between the Usos, as I think Jey accidentally super kicked his own brother Jimmy from out of nowhere, and that is a rare thing to see. When it comes to the Usos being that damn good, it is so rare to see that kind of shit. And even with all of that, Solo Sikoa was still able to hit Matt Riddle with a Samoan spike to pick up the victory for the Bloodline. Now the question becomes this: as of now, the draft is in full effect. Riddle, Owens, Zayn are now a part of Raw. All the members of the Bloodline, including Paul Heyman, are now a part of SmackDown. The question becomes, when Roman Reigns comes back to SmackDown this Friday, what is he going to do? What is he going to say to the Usos? Is he going to kick them out of the Bloodline? Is he going to kick them out of the family entirely? Because if you guys remember, 3 years ago, when Jey Uso uttered the words "I quit" inside Hell in a Cell, Roman told Jey, you're either with me or you're out of the family. Jey Uso was like, okay, you want me in the family? Fine, I acknowledge you. And that was where it all began, was that moment right there. Sami Zayn was right. The cracks are starting, have seeped in, and they're starting to expand. And it's gonna get to a point where Roman Reigns might just tell the Usos, fuck you guys, I don't want you guys here, get out of my face. He might end up doing that, and it'll get to a point where we might see the face turn of the Usos, which honestly we need that. We need a face turn from the Usos, because their time as heels, I mean, it worked. It sort of works the first time. But over time, they ended up slowly becoming, became baby faces again, and it just worked. It just worked. When, and with this new version of the Usos, it worked for a while, but once they lost the titles to Owens and Zayn at WrestleMania, it just became stale. It became completely stale, and I think it's time for the Usos to leave the bloodline before Roman leaves them. That's just how I see it. But this 6-man tag team match, 5 stars easy. That was probably one of the best 6-man tag team matches I'd ever seen in a long time. But speaking of big, but we now move on to the main event, which I'm not gonna lie, this one I was a bit disappointed. I feel like it could have lasted a bit longer, but Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, again, I feel like this match could have lasted a little bit longer than it should have. We got to see Brock Lesnar bleed out completely, which was a rare thing to see. But this was just a dumb one. Cody Rhodes hit Lesnar with a suicide dive, and we saw him hit Lesnar with a few chair shots, a couple of shots with the steel steps. Yeah, sure, this was back and forth, but the closing moments was just not what we were expecting. Even when locked in a Kimura in the Kimura lock, Rhodes was able to roll up Lesnar, use his own body weight to his advantage to pin Brock Lesnar and pick up the victory, and he just left. He got out of the ring that quick because he knew that Lesnar was gonna attack him. So now the question becomes, what's next for Cody? The answer is the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. He can still finish the story, but the question is, will he? That's the big question, and there's no telling. There's no telling what will be next for Cody, but we'll see. But we will see. I will admit, this was pretty good, but the ending was kind of stale in my opinion, so I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to give it 3 stars. But now we got to talk about this, because there were 6 there are 6 things that we got to talk about. What was the best match? What was the best entrance? What was the best luck? As in, like, the best gear that these guys had. MVP of the night. OMG moment. Best crowd reaction. Let's talk about it for a second, because the best match, I think, in my opinion, it comes down to 4. The Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, the San Juan Street Fight, and the 6-man tag team match. Between those 4, it has to be the 6-man tag team match, because this was the best way to end the rivalry between the Bloodline and the team of Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. Obviously, yes, Solo Sikoa was able to take care of the problem once and for all, but it was only because of the draft. That was it. It was only because of the draft. Best match, definitely the 6-man tag. As far as the best entrance goes, it comes down to 3. Seth Rollins, Bad Bunny, and Zelena Vega. Seth Rollins for the obvious reasons, the music and all that. Vega because her gear was basically representing her homeland in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny, I mean, come on. His new, one of his new number 1 hit singles was his new theme music. I mean, come on, really? I'm gonna be honest. I think it was Zelena Vega. I think that was probably the best entrance we had ever seen from her in a long time. As far as MVP of the night, it has to be Io Sky, and the reason being, she put in the work. in spite of the fact that she lost, she proved that she can break away from damage control and prove that she can be a champion on the main roster. But I will give Zelena Vega an honorable mention because, again, just like it's just like Io Sky, Vega was also prepared for someone like Rhea Ripley. Even though she lost, she knows that there will be more opportunities in the future. I think both definitely deserved to be MVP of the night, but for this one, had to be Io Sky. OMG moment, hands down, Bad Bunny getting hit with a broken arrow on top of 4 tables. There's not much. Actually, you know what? No, that's not. No, no. That, my opinion, that's not the that. Would that be OMG moment? You know what? Yeah, that would be the OMG moment because Bad Bunny was able to easily recover from it and still pick up the victory. Plain simple. Now, best crowd reaction. Come on, Carlito and Savio Vega coming back. I mean, come on. You can't go wrong with that. You seriously cannot go wrong with Savio Vega and fucking Carlito coming back to WWE after such a long period of time. You can't go wrong with that. But overall, this whole card, this card definitely made history. This made so much history. It now begs the question, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen moving forward as we draw closer and closer to Night of Champions? That is the big question. Honestly, there's no telling what can happen, but overall, 4 stars. This was an easy 4-star premium live event. I can't wait for WWE to go back to Puerto Rico. Honestly, it's going to be insane. But that brings me to the question of the day, which is this. What were your guys' thoughts on WWE Backlash? And what would you consider to be the best match, the best entrance, best look? Who was the MVP of the night? What was the OMG moment? And what was the best crowd reaction? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. And that will do it for this week's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results and more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.